Dragon Age the Veilguard. How's it doing out there? How's everybody's favorite non-binary, non-entertaining RPG releasing at the tail end of October? How's it doing a week on? Well, to be completely honest, not great. Not great at all, because more people are having fun dunking on the game than playing it. Because, okay, yeah, over this past week, I've seen a fair few people play it. Az, Mauler, Little Platoon, Razor Fist, and, well, they've all come to the same conclusion. It's ass. Is really bad. This is a very, very, very bad, very fundamentally broken video game. There is nothing to be gained there. There's a few laughs to be had in the character creator, but if you're here for a unique story, yeah, it's not happening at all. If you're there for engaging character banter, there's no engaging characters, and the dialogue is total ass. But the gameplay, right? Like, the gameplay can save it. That's a unique aspect of the entertainment industry. When it comes to game, nope, that's not there at all whatsoever. It's a busted ass game. It hasn't crashed on anybody that I've seen so far. That's about the only thing that you can give it. Give it a pat on the head for being functional and little else. But it's funny, right? Like, over the past couple of years, there have been some absolutely atrocious games coming out of inept studios like Lord of Ring Gollum, Star Wars Outlaws. They were written by people that were, well, they were incompetent. And in the case of Gollum, don't really necessarily think that they were well-meaning. And in the case of massive games and Star Wars Outlaws, I don't know specifically what their ideology is, nor do I really care what they were doing. But they were so bad, it was a different kind of bad, okay? As opposed to the Veilguard, which is just ideology first. Like, you can say, okay, yeah, Outlaws was woke because it had a girl boss. Not really. It was poorly written. You could read into it what you will, but it's a completely different kettle of fish than the Veilguard. And why do I come to that conclusion, and so many other people have as well? It's because the writers are first and foremost, and this is coming from a studio that has put ideology first for, the better part of a decade, starting with Andromeda, and now culminating with this steaming pile of crap. And who is in charge of it? Well, somebody who's got a bad case of Orange Man bad right now. Lead writer Patrick Weeks. Interesting, we just talked about him, huh? Now, melts down after Donald Trump wins the US election for president. Yes, somebody who works at a company that's in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, is freaking out because the United States got a new president that a majority of people wanted. Okay, Patrick Weeks, lead writer for Dragon Age the Veilguard, had a meltdown on social media following Americans choosing to elect Donald Trump as the president of the United States over Kamala Harris on Blue Sky, because, yeah, he's not posting any of this stuff over there on Twitter. I guess he thinks that this is a far more sly way of letting his TDS go. Okay, seemingly make it clear he has views to the otherwise. First, he reposted Rust Belt Rebel, who wrote Lawrence O'Donnell talking about how the Electoral College is a massive voter suppression technique, and it enrages me that we're still being controlled by white enslavers centuries later. Oh my God, really, bro? Really, bro? He also, yes, reposted Celeste Pewter. One more thing there, his campaign has been warning about this for days, but it bears saying again, Trump will probably try to declare victory tonight. Well, he did, after it was announced that he won. So I guess that's right. Team Harris is also expecting it, and they're prepared to act by saying that Kamala won't be coming out until 2 o'clock the next day. Yeah, interesting, right? John Rogers, minus 2% for being black, minus 2% for being woman. That's all it took to make it this close. Oh, no, it was a bigger margin than that, bro. Like, she got blown out in every single state. Like, this was something else that I was thinking about, because I've been watching a fair few people's coverage, in the aftermath, just trying to see if there's anything else to suss out from that. But something that is so different from the times that I was watching elections in the past, like, nobody was looking at, like, let's just say North Carolina, and it's like, okay, you got to take a look at this county and the way that it comes in, because Trump right now has like a 25,000 vote lead, and if he gets a bunch of votes from this historically red county, then his lead could potentially go to 80,000 over here. Oh yeah, and then the Democrat could end up getting, another, he'll get this proportion of the vote, or she'll end up getting this from that county. There was nothing like that, because every single state was tens or hundreds of thousands of votes at the end of it. Like, this wasn't close, bro. You didn't have to get all big-brained about this. Kamala Harris was the worst presidential candidate in modern history, and she was running on bad ideas that progressives loved. But here's the thing. Like I said before, I think we found the base level of Democrat supporters that are out there. The vote blue no matter who. We figured them out as not enough to make a difference. okay? And the people that are for all of these wildly leftist ideals, like, depending on the exit polls that you look at, like, the shit that they were hitching their wagon to, abortion and trans ideology, like, that stuff, like, on a balance of probabilities, on a top 10 list, like, I seen a couple of places abortion was, like, 7th, and trans stuff doesn't even make the list, bro. Like, they were trying to pander to a fraction of a percentage of people. Most people cared about the economy and the border, one of which Kamala was made the czar of. So it's like, it's no surprise that they lost, but these people before, and then just go check out my Alyssa Mercante video from beforehand, they're not going to learn from any of this stuff. There is no self-reflection. They are never going to have their "are we the baddies" situation until they're destitute out on the street. The gaming industry is the worst of the big pillars of entertainment. They are going to go down in a spurgy, reeing catastrophe. But here's the good thing. Here's definitely the good thing, because you got Patrick Weeks out here, okay, freaking out on Blue Sky, you know, the little liberal hug box that's out there. But it's not like we're really missing all that much from him. It's not like, you know, oh man, this is one of those talents that are wasted, or this is a situation where you really got to separate the art from the artist, because he might be a raving lunatic in real life, but he's really a master of his craft. I mean, like, I can tell you all of the stuff that I'm seeing from the different playthroughs that I'm watching, but why not just go ahead and give you guys some first-hand information that's right here, okay? There's a codex entry, right, from this Canary that was out there, Taash, okay, the non-binary who sits around a table and goes, "Hi guys, listen to my gender nonsense." It's like, I thought we were playing a dark fantasy. Shut up, you bigot. No. There's a codex entry that is supposed to be from the perspective of Taash. I've seen this ran about and recharacterized several different times over to try to make this rambling nonsense make sense. No, this is a journal entry, and this is supposed to be kind of haphazard because it's from the mind of Taash. It's like, oh, okay, cool, so you're trying to paint somebody as being not all that mentally stable, and you want to claim them from your community. Very strange move that you want to make there. I don't know if that's based, or I don't know if you know exactly what you're saying, but regardless, this is in the game. This isn't like ancillary materials. This isn't, you know, trading cards that you can get for the game that you can go ahead and make connections for. No. This is a codec entry in the game, and it gives you a snapshot of what we're dealing with here. Okay, Tasha's notes, meeting shadow dragons to talk gender stuff. And oh yeah, there's a couple of opinions where it's like, they say this game is not woke propaganda. Just discovered this, while reading the codex entries. They made this game so sloppy, and I mean, like, okay, they were under the gun on this one. Okay, they had a very short development cycle of only 8 years. How could they possibly just, you know, take their notes one for one and put them in a codex entry instead of trying to extrapolate on them and make it seem like, you know, like a coherent entry? But no. This is just, you know, the snippets and thoughts of Taash. Writing notes to work through gender crap. Interesting. Showing to Rook for help. Maybe Maveris pretty, Arkin tough, both trans. Okay. Trans means other gender then changed. Wait, no. Was always new thing, just now acknowledged, and not changing, affirming trans woman is woman, not feeling right in body is dysphoria. Whole big thing. Could feel like want to be guy instead of girl. No. Could feel like not connected to body. Not anyone does this. Could feel uncomfortable with girls who act more feminine. No, I like girls. Girls smell good. What the fuck, man? This is kind of creepy now. But like hanging out with lords more than girls. Ashamed of not doing what your gender should do. Ugh. Getting euphoria is feeling right. Just as a sidebar here, this is what all these freaks are all about. All of these creepy leftists. They're always chasing this perfect, harmonious state where they put happiness and feelings above all else. Just listen to the way that they talk. Well, I feel like, in the vibes here, like, yeah, they're chasing something that you can never get a permanent grasp on, and that's why they're always perpetually upset. Anyways, non-binary means not man or woman, can feel like either, can look like girl, guy, neither, and I'm just glossing over the rest of this stuff because I can feel IQ points just dropping onto my ear. Also, gender fluid, agender, bigender, like, yo, man, this is what you're thinking about, and you want to bring this person into a battle. This is supposed to be one of the warriors of the living against the existential threat to the world. Somebody who's writing that it's never too late, valid even if no words younger, blah, blah, blah. This is the type of person that you want on your team. Yeah, I don't really think so, bro. And that's why when you read through that stuff, it really does seem like script notes. They just got lazy and slapped into the game. And it's stuff like this, the long lecture about how it's the most gravest of transgressions to misgender somebody. That's what has painted this entire game. And that's why all of this pre-release stuff led to a bunch of people, a whole host of people, canceling their pre-orders. Because it's weird, because Grum's also pointed this out. I think he sent it out Wednesday or Thursday or something like that. It's kind of strange, right? Like, we're approaching a week, and BioWare and EA have yet to release any of their sales data. Their first week out there on the charts, and we haven't heard hide nor hair from them. I understand they might have been busy trying to keep all of their staff upright and alive because of the return of the Orange Man. I understand, but 14% of Dragon Age and Veilguard physical retail orders reportedly canceled ahead of the game's release. Total pre-orders less than 200,000, huh? Interesting. Approximately 14% of pre-orders for the Veilguard at national retailers were reportedly canceled in the days leading up to the game's release. YouTuber Endymion revealed that a retail insider shared with him that 956 pre-orders of the total 6,793 were canceled. Wrote on X, so a source who works in the retail space showed me how many pre-orders got canceled for the Veilguard in the past few days. This is from a major store with over 900 locations in America. Veilguard pre-orders versus cancellations by platform. Deluxe Xbox version 108 canceled. Normal Xbox had 128 canceled. Deluxe PS5 254, and normal PS5 466. Sheesh. Between 14-15% across the one store that he had posts to. In the subsequent post, Endymion clarified, I should reiterate for anyone, these are physical pre-orders, but I'm told in total with the physical digital is nowhere near the 500,000 pre-orders before release. Because we can take a look on the other side of things, and I understand that there's going to be, a couple of other places where you could theoretically play the game or something like that, but these Steam charts are the most accurate way to gauge how many people are playing this, and here we are a week after release. Now I'm recording this pretty late on Thursday into Friday morning, so this will be about the lowest. There might be a little bit more of a peak over the weekend, but you're not cracking, okay? You're not cracking that 89,418 all-time concurrent players, because you can see throughout the week it has slowly started to diminish. On Monday, you had the peak of 65,000. On Tuesday, you had a peak of 58. On Wednesday, a peak of 53. And then earlier on Thursday, a peak of 48. I would imagine it's probably going to stay somewhere in on and around there. You might get into the 60s. You might break into the 70s, but it ain't getting close to that nearly 90,000. It's done. It's dusted. And brother, you kind of got the idea how many copies potentially could be out there. Play Tracker has it at about 176,000, okay? And then the top end, and I would imagine that's probably the absolute most intense estimations at 617,000. Couple that with less than 200,000 physical pre-orders, significantly less than 200,000 pre-orders, and you don't even have Star Wars Outlaws levels of sales. Bro, and that game was announced as a failure by Ubisoft. BioWare's done, bro. Like, we knew this beforehand, okay? They are cooked. This could very well be the last game that they put out. Oh, but they're working really hard on Mass Effect 5. Doesn't really much matter, man. EA is ruthless. Would cut studios for far less than that. Does anybody remember what they did after the Dead Space studio after they released 3? It wouldn't take them very long to shut that bitch down. A new rumor claims that the Veilguard has sold less copies than Star Wars Outlaws. Jesus. Endymion revealed that a source shared with him the game has only sold about 500,000 copies, which is about half of the rumored Outlaws sales. This is from the same source of the previous pre-order numbers. Apparently, according to the pre-orders, Veilguard was less than initially thought. 115,000 pre-orders across all platforms, digital and physical, by the way. The number has been hearing from EA is actually between 70 and 75,000 pre-orders in total before release. Jeez. I'm told... Oh yes, in total I'm told is that Veilguard may have sold overall, so far anyway, 500,000 range. And yeah, as you're seeing here, bro, it's like how many people are watching on Twitch? 7,400 people. Like I was watching Az was streaming earlier on Thursday. His streams have significantly tapered off as he gets further into this crap. It's like there's nothing engaging about this at all whatsoever. It might crescendo for the finale to just see how mundane that is, but there's no reason to check this game out. It's done, dude. Like 170,000 people watching on Twitch. That's just yeah, a couple big streamers playing the game. That's it. 16,000 people watching over the past 24 hours, and right now 7,400 people watching the game. Like, it's done on Twitch. I don't even know who's playing it over on YouTube outside to just simply laugh at it, and Twitch is definitely a different beast when it comes to just artificially inflating view counts. Not saying that they're botting, I'm just saying something weird going over there in comparison. But 74% positive reviews. It's there's no word of mouth about this game, and when there is people talking about it, they're talking about it in this vein, just how cringe and awful it is. So it's sad to see another studio that was once allotted. BioWare used to be the kings in the late 2000s, early 2010s. They were hot shit, and now, well, we just drop the shit and ship it out in the tens of thousands, and it's the fourth and very likely final installment of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Save the hot for all of those awesome looking character models, right? Yeah. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.